that you have given us. How grateful we were when you opened our eyes to see the beauty of a new day. We ask, oh God, that you lead, guide, and direct us in this meeting. We may do things that will be acceptable to you and acceptable to people that we're serving. And this and all, I ask your name, amen.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to call to order Danville-Boyle County Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting, July 26, 2023. This time, approval of the minutes from the June 28th meeting, 2023. We have a motion to approve the minutes,
Second?
and we have a second. All in favor of the motion? Motion passes. Financial report.
Yeah, this is, June winds up the 2023 fiscal year, so let's just take a look and see how we did, I guess you could say, for the year. So I'm going to the second page, the one that says statement of account activities on the top. And if you go about 2/3 the way down the page, you'll see a line there that says total commission revenue. That's what our total revenue was for the year. And if you go to the, I guess it'll be the third column over, you see our budget was about $193,000. That's what we budgeted for revenue. We actually came in at $227,000, or about $33,000 more revenue than budgeted. And if you go up to the fourth line down under construction review fees, you can see that we had a $19,000 income in the month of June, which is put us like $27,000 over plan in that particular item. So the vast majority, $27,000 of our $33,000 overage was in construction and review fees. And most of the large fees that we collected in June was due to the fees associated with the Chick-fil-A building being built.
Yeah, the extension of May Boulevard.
So now we'll talk just a little about, so revenue overall, we were like $33,000 favorable to budget. If you stay on that same page and go down, we'll start with expenses. And you can see under total personnel, we were about, the budget was $158,000, we came in at $137,000, so we were about $21,000 below budget because of the fact that we didn't have a director for a couple of months. And then if you flip over to the very last page and drop down almost to the bottom where it says total expenditures, almost to the bottom of the page, you can see that our budgeted expenditures for the year was $219,000, roughly $220,000. We came in at about $198,000 because of our low personnel costs. So we were about $22,000 under budget on expenses, due primarily to personnel. So if you drop one line below that, this is the last line I'll talk about, where it says net ordinary income and loss. If you look at the second to the last column, we were budgeted to basically have our expenses exceed our expenditures by about $27,000. So we were going to draw down the money we had in the bank by about $27,000. In reality, we came in about $29,000 favorable. That is, instead of spending $27,000 more than we took in almost $29,000 more than we spent, which is a swing of like $55,000. So Michaela did a great job in her first year here as director. That's all I have.
We need a motion to approve the financial report.
Moved, so moved.
We've got a motion to approve the financial report,
I'll second that motion.
and we have a second. All in favor of the motion? Motion passes. Thank you, Terry. Construction charities.
Yep. I've had to add a few since I sent out the agenda. Sorry, some things have changed. Number 1, Nancy Davis, Summit Drive Development, renew letter of credit in amount of $47,888. This is a cash bond that we're holding for Summit Drive. That's where the 5 stars going out by the bypass there. do we want to do these separately, or?
It's your pleasure.
I think we should do them separately. Number 3 is going to be a bit of a discussion, so.
Okay. So we need a motion.
I make a motion to accept.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor of the motion? Motion passes. Okay, second one?
Jody Sharp, Hunt Farm, Section 6. He did a 20% bonding option for Section 6 of Hunt Farm out there on Shakertown Road. He has completed construction. The county voted yesterday to accept maintenance of the street, and so we are ready to release the letter of credit in amount of $103,694.80. Is there any questions on that?
So move to accept, to release that letter.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Now, third one?
Okay, Kelly and Ann Griffith, DBA Hidden Springs Properties, 0 East Eden Avenue. They've asked for the release of their letter of credit in an amount of $30,000 for the asphalt. Junction City has not voted to accept maintenance of this street yet. There's still some questions about final inspections and things of that nature. My recommendation would be to wait until the August meeting, once we can clear up some of those questions with Junction City, to release this letter of credit, but the developer did ask to have this on the agenda. I think Dale might be here to speak about it. So,
Please come forward, state your name.
Dale Shepperson with AGE Engineering. Yeah, the developer has, of course, everything is completed out there, everything is built. He actually built the road a half-inch more of finished grade, or finished blacktop and dense grade. Under the new ordinance is what he built it by. It was approved under the old ordinance, but he built it by the new ordinance. I've got a letter here from Luther talking about what all's been done and what has been completed. Everything is done, and I think there was a question or something over the thickness of the asphalt that they had cleared up with the mayor of Junction, but I don't know about if there's another question or something that arose that I'm not aware about, but that was all it is, and the asphalt is actually a half-inch thicker than what's mandatory.
And you feel, Director, you feel that the Junction folks will have their, before the next meeting? Or what's the timing that you heard?
I think it will need to go to the next Junction City Commission
Okay.
meeting, is my guess. I think the mayor's talked about wanting to take a core sample. So, I mean, the best that we can do, I asked AG&E to certify the road. That's why Luther Galloway wrote up that report that he submitted yesterday to us, basically certifying that the standards were met. But I think Junction still has some questions, and so I feel it's appropriate to let the jurisdiction make their review and approval prior to Planning Commission kind of.
That is what we've done in the past, is wait till they approve. Yeah,
Yep.
let Junction approve it before we do our approval.
Yep.
Or agreement.
Do we know when the meeting for Junction, do they meet monthly?
I think it's the second Thursday of the month, so it'd be prior to our August Planning Commission meeting, but I don't know if the mayor intends to put it on that meeting or not. That's my hope, is that it will go to
You
that.
did what, honey?
I'm not sure if the mayor intends to put it on that meeting or not, but that's my hope, is that
Well,
will,
he can, I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure he's willing to.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, we would just definitely want to get it on that meeting so we can get this resolved.
There's one side issue to this bond question, and that's that when we grant final approval to public improvements, it sets a 45-day timer, at the end of which the road is automatically accepted into the system. So I think one good reason for caution is we wouldn't want to do anything that might inadvertently tie Junction's hands.
I think we just need to let them do what they need to do with the path they're on.
And we're fine with that as long as we can, like I say, if there is a meeting in Junction in the next month, so that we can get it resolved.
Okay. Always good to have more blacktop.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So we'll just table that. Do we need to make a motion on that, Henry?
Do we make a motion?
Yeah, so can I make a motion to table this till our next meeting or till after Junction approves?
Next meeting.
Next
Till next
meeting.
meeting. Yeah, till next meeting. We can decide there.
Oh, we have a motion to table till the next meeting.
I'd like to second that motion, please.
All right, we have a second. All in favor of that motion? Motion passes. Okay, subdivision approvals. We'll take these one at a time, or,
One at a time.
okay?
First, we have Insight Business Ventures LLC. They've applied for the subdivision of 2.420 acres, creating lots 6A and 6B, located at 60 West Ridge Drive in Danville. Property is zoned light industrial. Initially at TRS, we asked for them to note the setbacks and to crosshatch the drainage, and to note current, future, or probable fire hydrant placement, being that it's a commercial property. It received preliminary approval and it's ready for final approval today.
Any motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this pending the completion of the task that you've got on it and the receiving of the plat.
So we have a motion to approve
Second?
and a second. All in favor? Motion passes.
Next, we've got Danville Development Partners LLC. They've applied for the subdivision of 36.573 acres located at 100 Bernie Place in Danville. Property is zoned general business. This plat is modifying the acreage of tracts 1 and 4 in order to create tract 1B. 1B is 8.867 acres. The remainder of tract 1 will be 20.060 acres, and the remainder of tract 4 will be 7.643 acres. All the lots have frontage on Bernie Place. TRS suggestions included the removal of some engineer language in a block on the plat, correcting the zoning district to reflect the GB, and noting the general business setbacks. Again, cross-hatching the drainage. Noting the marking that shows a 30-foot utility easement that's being eliminated within the legend. And again, do current, future, or potential fire hydrant placement, being a commercial property. This plat did not receive preliminary approval because we did not have a complete application at the time of TRS. So it needs preliminary and final today, please.
You got the application then?
Yes.
Thank you.
I also just wanted to add, I don't know if you all recall hearing the Morning Point site plan last month, and we had made it conditional upon this plat being submitted and approved because the lot lines were being tweaked based on this plat, and the site plan was reflecting those amended lot lines. So I just wanted to bring up that fact that they have met this
This is the
condition
one
with
where the
this motion.
parking lot, the parking went over the white line.
That was
No.
New Vista.
not
Morning
this one.
Point is the, I
That's
think
on
it's the,
150.
yeah, it's
Across
the
the
senior
bottom.
living facility
Right.
out off Pearville Road and Bernie Place.
Yeah, I know
So,
which one it is, but
yeah,
the problem was something with the property went over, or the construction went over that edge? Is that why the plat lines?
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Originally it did.
Yep.
And when we made this plat, we brought it to the edge of the parking.
Right,
Yeah. This plat will resolve those issues.
yeah, okay.
So we need a motion for a preliminary and final approval. Can we do that in one motion? Okay. Floor is open for that motion.
I'll move to preliminary and final approval of the plat.
Okay, so we have a motion for preliminary and final approval. Need a second?
I'd like to second that motion, please.
All right, you have a second. All in favor of the motion? Motion passes. Okay.
Do you want me to read it?
We need a third one?
Yep.
Okay.
What's that?
We're ready for you.
Oh, okay.
Major plat.
High Cliff Properties LLC have applied for a major subdivision of 12.006 acres of land located at 0 Boffman Ave, known as the Brooks Acre Development. The property is zoned R1C. I don't know if you all recall, but we recently did a zone change from RM2 to R1C for this property. They're looking to subdivide this 12 acres into 58 lots and dedicate public right-of-way to serve those 58 lots. I don't have any comments on the subdivision plat here. We're still working through the review of construction plans with Josh and Marshall, and then we'll get comments back to them to make sure everything's up to subdivision regulation standards. But as far as the plat is concerned, I think it's ready for final approval. I'll let Kendall add anything if he needs to.
So, mhm.
Stormwater detention basin, water quality treatment in the detention basin. Everything except widening the bottom, I guess.
Well, that's a different topic, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the approval of this could be a condition. Is the construction aspect prevent this of approving this, or is that independent? Do we have to have a
No,
condition?
I think it's independent because we basically review and accept the construction
Yeah.
plans as part of the process of accepting the bond. So they're gonna have to place a bond and sign a contract for this plat because of the public right-of-way improvements that they're gonna be doing. So
Right.
it's kind of part of that process.
And Mr., do you have any concern that this is going to need to be revised based upon the construction things? Can you envision anything like that happening? You got the other part of this, the next part of this. I didn't know whether or not this will be the final.
That, before we get to a point where we report it, if a utility is changed,
Mhm.
the location of the utility, we have to adjust the utilities.
Yeah, I know. And
At this point, we have a complete
okay.
water, everything except actually, we don't have an electric layout just yet. We're kind of dragging that business. Where the monitor will be, but, if we need to add a utility somewhere, just,
Yeah, you'll need to work with that. And Director, you're fine with doing that event later if it happens? Having this thing
Yeah, I
revised?
mean, they're already showing a fair amount
Yeah,
of
there's a
utility
lot of
easements on
detail
the
there.
front and sides of the lot, so if we need to amend it, we can either discuss bringing it back through or
Mm-hmm.
just doing a administrative amendment prior to recording, so I can't record the plat until the bond's in place.
Exactly.
So all those steps have to be taken prior to us recording it, and,
Right,
I mean, Kendall would probably wait until he was sure anyway, so.
exactly. So, yeah, there's work to be done, but it doesn't require, if we were to approve it, it would be fine with those conditions, knowing that those events have to happen, is really what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to, I'm fine with this thing, so
Yeah.
they think it'll work fine?
It's consistent with everything we've seen so far, and it,
You joked about four-lane Hoffman, maybe they were joking, I don't know. Is this gonna affect traffic a whole lot?
Well, I mean, we're adding 50 some odd.
58.
58.
58.
We hear complaints about traffic on Hoffman all the time, and I was just curious what.
Yeah, I mean, we're not creating, we're generating trips, we're creating more trips, so we're current on that. And that was a big part of the discussion during the zone change.
Right, I think we talked a lot about that during zone change.
yeah.
I don't know what we can do about it. The amount of trips that we're generating, we go back to the zone change, it was zoned so that we could do duplex properties. And we didn't want to do that, we wanted, the developer wanted to build single family.
Right, yeah.
So it was kind of a non-issue during the zone change because we really weren't generating any new added trips as a result of changing the zone.
Right.
But now that construction's here, it will generate trips versus it being sitting there undeveloped.
And we knew about that. But
I will say that, on the east side of east end of Balkan Avenue, the state's working on plans to improve Ghost Bike.
right.
So that intersection will be fixed. That's a pretty bad intersection.
Yes,
Mhm.
Joe.
And then the west end of Balkan Avenue, of course, has a traffic signal. So that's somewhat controlled and made safer by that.
I was just curious.
It's certainly busy to back in there, that's for sure.
Any other questions? Any comments? Anything further you want to say?
Did the city engineer ask for a traffic study related to this?
No.
Thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve.
We have a motion for approval
A second.
and a second. All in favor of the motion? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a public hearing that was tabled from the April 26, 2023 meeting. Danville-Boyle County Planning and Zoning Commission has filed an application to amend Articles 2 and 4 of the joint zoning ordinance, so we need a motion to bring that off the table.
I'm, I hate to do this again, but I am gonna ask you all to extend it one more time. I've been looking at it more, and I'd like to meet with the advisory committee one more time before we bring something forward, so, if we can just table it one more time to August, if that's all right with you all.
Okay.
Do we,
We need a vote for that, or?
do we need a motion to bring it back in and then motion to table it?
Or to continue the table?
I think we can leave it tabled. I think it requires no motion.
Okay, thank you.
New business, advisory committee report,
None,
budget committee report,
none.
personnel committee report.
I don't know if Steve wants to give an update, but,
Yeah, really, yeah, go ahead.
what's that?
Insurance,
Yep,
yeah. We have been able to move Kate and Lisa onto the bulk
Thank you.
Congrats.
We
Thank them.
appreciate that very much. All right, well, that's good news. Any other news, new business?
No new business, but I just want to make a quick announcement that there will be the comp plan kickoff meeting for the public on August 24th at the showroom at 8 p.m. So again, August 24th, showroom, 6 to 8 p.m., sorry. 6 to 8. And we invite you all to attend, spread the word. It's open to the public. That's kind of what the intent is, just to educate people on what the process is going to look like, advise them of additional public engagement meetings, things like that. So
And you've already got it scheduled for the showroom over there.
we do. Yep.
Okay.
August 24th, 6 to 8.
Thank you.
So, Michaela, does that mean you've already started your meetings and the groups?
We've slowly started meeting. We had a meeting on July 18th with the elected officials, just to kind of go through a little bit of a visioning exercise to kick off the process. And so now we're starting to get underway with the public engagement process. And then I think Joe Black from the Bluegrass Ad, who's kind of the one that's going to be writing the plan, will start pulling all the base study data and all that stuff. So we're slowly getting started, but August 24th is kind of the official kickoff of the comp plan. So.
And draw me a bigger picture. After this particular public meeting, how many more opportunities do the public have?
We're going to schedule them, but I think the intent is to have several, 1 to 2 for each jurisdiction in the beginning part of the process, and then we'll have additional once we have more of a draft worked up.
Oh, that sounds very good. Thank you.
Yep. That's all I had.
Okay.
Sorry.
Any announcements? All right, no further business. We can have a motion to adjourn. Have motion to adjourn, second.
That's it.
Or
Rita.
all in favor?